So tonight is Christmas Eve, as my girlfriend Carrie says, and it's a December 23rd. It's an interesting day for me. The girls in my mom's life, my mom, my sister, and me were all born on the 23rd. So she was born on December 23rd. I was born on January 23rd. My sister was born on April 23rd. Sometimes I think my mom forced that to happen weirdly, just so that she could have it that way. But so that was kind of because she's been gone for a few years now, and she and I didn't have a good relationship when she was alive. And so it's been interesting because I've been able to kind of, in my own weird way, create a better relationship with her now that she's gone. And kind of in ways that I can pay respect to her and things like that. So it's been really cool. We listened to the Nutcracker while we were setting up today, and so we have our yoga nutcrackers here, and that some of our students gave to us, this year and a few years back. We got this guy, and so the Nutcracker is a big thing. When I was growing up, we always went to the Nutcracker and stuff when we were kids, and so it was really cool. But so tonight I'm not going to be playing the Nutcracker for you guys, but I am wanting to kind of continue this theme with the closing up of the end of this year, and then at the same time really kind of honoring some of those more difficult relationships that we have. And the reason why I want to spend time on this is because it is the holidays. This is a weird time. I think I brought this up last time, but if I didn't, it bears repeating, because as I listen to people in my life kind of start to go down emotionally at this time of the year, there is a really big collective energy that happens. And so as we are moving around the sun, we take our trip around the sun every year and we hit this spot. This is a heavy spot for a lot of people. And so for a lot of people, and I don't know if anybody is aware of this, but sometimes when people die, like in nursing homes, it will say, especially at this time of the year, death rate goes up in nursing homes astronomically. And it says on their death certificate, lack of a will to live. And it's just because they're just done. Do you know what I mean? And so this is an interesting time of year. So we want to pay respect to the people that we have, just whatever kind of uncomfortableness is there, whatever types of things show up in our life that kind of create the distance and the angst. I'm not saying that you have to go and, do kumbaya with somebody who is hurtful or harmful in your life. That is not what I'm suggesting. But what I am suggesting is that you have an inner peace inside of yourself. That's what I'm suggesting. That and that can be done in a myriad of ways. Sometimes it just comes from us being able to find a couple of really good nuggets about the person and then just focus on it. When I was talking with Quint earlier about my mom, I would send her messages on her birthday, which is December 23rd, and Mother's Day every year. And I would always tell her how grateful I was to her for teaching me how to clean a house really good. She loved food. She loved really good food. So I have an incredible palate because of all the things that we had. Love music. We always had music playing in the house. Love it, love it, love it. And so I would, kind of give that to her. Thank you so much for my love for old movies, crazy old movies, things like that, the Three Stooges and these things that I grew up with, really funny sense of humor. And those things are important. So I can focus on that, and then the other stuff doesn't have to be so caca, right? And then even in that, just knowing that you have the honor and the respect for the good parts of the people that are kind of rough to you in your life, That's important. So we do tonight's practice kind of with that in mind. I'm not going to be doing tons and tons of talking. We're going to be playing bowls. Bowls are so beautiful because we are more frequencies. That's it. We are just a big, huge, like collective ball of frequencies and vibrations. And so the bowls can help to kind of facilitate change within your body in a really amazing way. And so we don't need to focus on anything hard. We can just allow ourselves to be in a space where we kind of like sit in appreciation for those that have come into our life that kind of like there's some sort of abrasion that comes up from it. It feels abrasive from whatever it is. And everybody has people like that. It could be people that you work with. It could be family members. It could be, ex-partners. It could be anything. And so that's why tonight it's only the appreciation for them. Okay, that's it. You don't need to do anything else. You find one good thing. I went through a period of time in my past life where I had to kind of like recommit my mind into my relationship, and I just would find one good thing. Like every night, I would be like, put his shoes away. Super cool. And it was like, and that was enough, and like I would just focus on that, and it did over time. It shifted my perspective on things. So you can just focus. It's the same thing. It's just like one little thing. It doesn't have to be huge, okay? And then we're gonna take that energy of that one good morsel, and then we're just gonna kind of like give it to the bowls, let the bowls take it, let the bowls transmute it, and then let it go, okay? So you guys can lay down today if you want to, or you can sit in a chair, or you can sit on the bolster. It doesn't make any difference to me. I just want you to be comfortable. I always suggest that you don't use the bolster like a pillow just because it'll hurt your head. So if you want to take your blanket and lay it out, that's sometimes better if you choose to lay down. Yeah, and there's other blankets, yeah. So as you guys are kind of settling up here, just allow yourself to get into a space where you feel a little bit more comfortable, and start to zero in on your breathing. So just allow yourself, feel the inhale, feel the exhale. A few months back, we talked about our breath and the connection of our breath. So if you allow yourself to feel just all of the pleasure of your breath. It's beautiful inhalation, the way that it touches the back of your throat, the way that it expands your chest and your belly. Beautiful exhalation, the way that it heats up the back of the throat and the chest falls down, even getting to the point where you can feel your clothes right along your skin. Letting yourself, again, turn the corners of your mouth up so that you can feel a happiness. The corners of the mouth up, it sends a message to your nervous system that it's good, like things are okay. There's happiness here. There's a direction of peace and happiness here. The eyes are just softly closed. And bringing to mind one individual, just pick one. And just find that one good quality. Resist the temptation to see any negative faults. Maybe you know that they're a very hard worker. Maybe they always have a good sense of style. It can be something physical that you appreciate about them. It can be something spiritual that you appreciate about them. Something about their character, perhaps. Focus on one thing that you've learned from that individual. Sometimes we learn things about ourselves from our relationships, from our interactions. Maybe we had to learn a different boundary. Something that you didn't realize about yourself. Each person that comes into our life is a teacher to us. Each person that comes into our life is a teacher to us. Moments go by without taking the lesson. without them being in your life. That's why each one of these interactions makes you stronger and wiser and kinder. If you allow it to. And just by the sheer fact that you are here and you are listening, bodies, inside of our nervous systems, within the nervous system, to be able to move through this world with grace and ease, to be able to have people in our life that are not always the easiest for us, but to be in a place where inside of ourselves, whether we choose to have them in our life on a daily basis or not, that inside of ourselves we can still honor them and we can still respect them as fellow human beings and as people that are divine and just doing the best that they can as they work through this world, just like we all are. And when we can see that and we can move through the world that way, we will feel softer and we will feel safer. The grace that we extend to others is all that we want for ourselves as well. Everybody that comes into contact with us is a teacher. Saying thank you in the inside to all of the teachers that we have. And allow yourself to start to reconnect with your breath in a more mindful way. Start to bring more movement into the body. If you're lying down, you're invited to sit back up again. So this year for Christmas, we did not decorate our house at all. Not one thing. I've noticed over the last few years that it's gotten like less and less and less. I think last year we bought one of those things that you stick in the yard and it just like puts lights on the house, and that was the extent of it. And this year we didn't even do that. So we were at Sprouts this morning and I saw that they had these little Christmas trees and I was like, Chris, we should get one. They're like on sale for $9. And he's like, no, because we'll have to throw it away. So we didn't even do that this year. And it's okay. I feel like there's time and a season for all things, and sometimes, we don't need all of the extra, and then sometimes we do. Sometimes we require it. Something inside of us requires it, and that is fulfilling to us. And then sometimes we don't need it. Sometimes it's just like, we're okay. Like, I'm okay. I'll catch it 365 days later and see what happens, see how I feel. And that's okay. There isn't anything wrong with that. So, but whatever it is that you're doing for the holidays or not doing for the holidays, wherever you're at on all of this stuff, as we walk each other home, as Ram Dass says, I mean this when I say this, I pray deeply that everybody just has peace in their heart this time of year. Just peace, just peace, just peace. And I pray for that for everybody. I have so many friends that are alone, and it just breaks my heart, And like I've tried so hard to make this place like big enough for everybody, And so like even if you're alone, you have this somehow, And I think Quentin and I have tried to make our arms as big as we possibly can. And I'm so grateful that you guys like give that back to us like 100-fold. It's really beautiful. We're very blessed. We have great people in our lives. I mean, like everybody in our life. My husband is amazing. His kids are amazing. My son is amazing. Like I'm really, really, really blessed. And then I've got all you guys and everybody that comes to these classes normally. I mean, like, gosh, I'm so blessed. So thank you for being in my life. And that's the best Christmas present I could ever ask for,
is just the community that we have and that we've built and that you guys are all a part of. It just means everything to me, everything to me. So anyway, in way of announcements, we will be closed tomorrow evening, and so only AM classes, no PM classes. And then we have Thursday off the whole day. We're not open at all. And then on Friday, normal classes. And then moving into the following week, I really want to talk about that. We have Bunty coming. So he comes twice. So you guys, if you want, there are 2 different teachings. So the one that's on the first is the New Year's blessing. And it is genuinely like a blessing. He makes these little these monks work around the clock. They take shifts. There's nobody ever stops the chanting and the prayers that go into the bracelets that they make, and it's like days or weeks or months long, however they do it. And he'll tell the story about it when he comes, and that's on the first. And so those bracelets that he brings, that we all tie on each other, they are those blessings from those. And so that's on the New Year's blessing, and then he gives a teaching for that. It's very different than the one that he does later, which will be on the 10th. So I do want everybody thinking about that because he comes twice. All of them, his proceeds from that all go to his incubator project and the kids in the hospitals down in Sri Lanka, the mothers, all the delivery. There's all kinds of problems. I don't know why they have a lot of preemie babies. I don't know what exactly the dynamic is. I'm imagining Sri Lanka isn't like the easiest place to live. You know, they had a political uprising. They used to be called Ceylon, and then there was like a coup, and now they're Sri Lanka. And so I mean, like, it can't be like the easiest place to live. And so he does this beautiful thing and just donates all this money to those and blesses all those little babies' lives.
Who was here last year?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So we're.
He called the happy.
He's the He's the love and kindness monk. He's the love and kindness monk. So yeah, I love Bunty. He's amazing. We're very blessed. And that's another person that's in my life that has just like been the most incredible gift to me. My stepmother has been my stepmother since I was 5. And she is like the whole reason why I have the access to all of these things that I have is because of her influence in my life. And I just like, the undying gratitude that I have to her for that. You know, the whole reason why we have Bunty come every year is because of her like going and finding these people that are teachers to her, and she brings them into my life, and I'm just so grateful. I'm like, so it's just crazy what we have. All right, everybody, I'll see y'all next week. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Thank you.